The 981st edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, degenerinos. Welcome to episode 981 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Who should we give it to? Let me find someone on the old YouTube that isn't complaining about us, which is sometimes hard to do. Heathcliff Huxtable. There's a name that hasn't aged well. This goes out to Heathcliff Huxtable. Thanks for coming to the show. I am Jeff Bandana Fox. With me, alongside me, virtually at least, Daniel Gumby Vreeland. We got some more regional MMA for you, which is where Gumby makes his hay. As he told us last episode, he's up over 50 units this year, which is good enough for most people. Some of you is not good enough for, but it's good enough for me. Up 50 units. He's going to add to that with some Pancrase. Pancrase says that they heard we were doing CFFC yesterday and the 4 title fights, and they said, hold our Japanese beer. Five title fights this weekend, Gumby.
I love it. Yeah. And you know what? I got to be honest. So, like, we've been pressing for how we're going to fill episodes during the UFC void. And I saw, I'm like, oh, Pancrase sometimes has a good card. And I opened it up and I was like, damn, there's like all these fighters I know. Like, it wasn't like, okay, well, they've got title fights and I know title fights are a good thing. So we'll just do it. It was like, oh, it's Goiti Yamaguchi and it's Miki Motono, and it's Kasuya, who fought in the UFC weirdly a while ago.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, when Kasuya was in there, I had too, but I was like, wait a second, do I remember him fighting Alexander Volkanovski? I do, yes, I do remember that. It was like a pleasant surprise that it wasn't just 5 title fights, but it was 5 title fights with people pretty well known by the degens who get this deep into regional MMA.
Yep. How do we watch Pancrase, Gumby?
I think it's an internet pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right. Because people ask, people want to know. So this will be going down on Sunday, Sunday evening our time. So basically, it's a Monday event over in Tokyo, I guess, which is odd, but they do things differently over on that side of the world than we do over here. Before we dive into it, reminder, you get access to all of our free picks and podcasts in one convenient place, the SGPN app. Download it for free in your app store. Just type in SGPN. All right, Pancrase 360, Tachikawa, Tokyo, Japan, Sunday, December 21st, 11:15 p.m. Eastern time. So this is a very good Degen special for you people. It's going down in the Tachikawa Stage Garden for anyone who wants to go to it. 16 fights. No, we're not doing a full breakdown. That's another thing people like to ask for. People don't, some of you like 3-hour podcasts, but most people, the number show do not. So we try to keep things concise and tidy around these parts. So Gumby has picked the 5 fights. Well, actually, we've got
5 title fights.
There you go. Easy. 5 title fights. There you go. We're covering all the title fights. And if you want, then we have lightning round, of course. And then obviously Gumby is always generous with giving up picks if you ask him politely. YouTube, Twitter, Discord, in person when you see him, anything like that. All right, we're kicking things off with, actually, this is not a title fight. 1, 2,
oh no, you're right. There's one non-title fight.
One non-title fight.
Kasuya is not non-title too. Yeah, we're going for it again.
Yusuke Kasuya versus Isao Kobayashi. They are fighting at 155 pounds, 3 5-minute rounds. No odds yet for Pancrase, but I'm sure you'll be able to get them. The books will be looking for MMA to cover with no UFC or bigger promotions going down. Let's talk about Kasuya first. 15-10-2, 3 knockouts, 11 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted twice. 5-7 in Pancrase. He's won 1 of 4 and 4 of 7. Got submitted in his last bout. He went 0-2 in the UFC. As we mentioned, he was in the UFC for a brief span there. He used to fight at 145 and 170. 2009 pro MMA debut, a year younger than Kobayashi. Kobayashi, 27-7-2, 9 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. 23-3-2 in Pancrase. He's a former champion 2 times over for the promotion. He's lost 2 straight before that. He won 6 straight. TKO loss in his last bout. He's not won since May of 2021. He went 0-3 in Bellator, RIP. He's fed at 145, 2008 pro MMA debut, an inch of height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage over Kasuya.
You missed one key point.
Oh, damn it. It's a rematch and I missed it. They have long resumes and I missed it.
It's a rematch from 2017, to be fair.
What happened? What happened in the
Kobayashi by unanimous decision was the outcome of that one. And I'm going to go Kobayashi again. My guess is he's probably going to be a favorite for a couple of reasons. Number one, he was a Bellator signee. Bellator had him around. Kasuya was a UFC guy, but like a long time ago, and went 0-2 and was cut. To be fair, though, he lost to Volkanovski. Volkanovski was the one who gave him his walking papers. And his debut was Nick Hein, who, like, you know, Nick Hein didn't kick around too long, but Nick Hein was kind of a badass. He was kind of like a discount German Drew Dober.
There you go.
Right? Like that's right around what he was, right? Actually, they fought, didn't they, Dober?
Sounds right. Yeah. And he
married his sister.
Married his sister.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's a complete tangent right there. But I'm going to go Kobayashi because, first of all, won the first one. Second of all, more recently has been in a reputable organization like PFL or Bellator. And then, you know, on top of that, too, I like the stylistic matchup because you can swing it a little bit. You know, he kind of overextends himself a touch, but, like, you know, generates quite a bit of power. And I think that that's kind of how he's made his hay. But, like, if you watch any of his fights Volkanovski just took him down at will. And granted, we're not holding that against him, but so did Kobayashi when he fought him the first time. Or, you know, you can go back to a lot of his other recent fights, and it's just kind of like him getting taken down way too early and, you know, getting back up, but then getting taken down again. Kobayashi's hittable, which I think might keep the line kind of lower, but he has been fairly durable and, like, pretty good with his wrestling too. Like, if you go back and you watch, you know, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. The first of those 2 fights was, you know, Yves Landau, who's in PFL now. I think he was on the PFL Europe ones. You know, Kobayashi fought him to a split decision, and it was pretty much like the age-old question, like, do you give the decision to the guy who is clearly in top control most of the time or the guy who landed the couple of strikes when they were standing? So, like, you know, Kobayashi getting the wrestling going against Yves Landau is, you know, impressive in its own right. Granted, you know, he's not picking up a lot of wins lately, but against a guy like Kasuya, who, like I said, off balance, swings it a little bit and has been out wrestled by Kobayashi in the past, I'll take Kobayashi. And my guess, like I said, probably not going to get out of control because both of them are kind of journeymen and have been on the losing side of things lately. And plus, you know, how much do you weigh a fight that happened 8.5 years ago? Right. So Kobayashi, hopefully playable.
Did you say the number?
Yeah, I said like negative 200 or something like that.
Okay, I missed that. All right, got it. Yeah, why are they saying it's 5 title fights? Was there 5 title fights at one point? Because I don't see a title fight.
Is that what the poster says 5?
The poster says 5, but there's only really 4. They're lying. They're lying to us.
Unless they added a title, like somebody vacated theirs or something. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not following very many.
You can't.
Yeah, I'm not following Pancrase news sites, so
and their website is basically unless you can read Japanese, it's very difficult to figure out.
That is tougher for me.
Yeah. All right, Pancrase vacant strawweight championship. Should I dare ask why it's vacant, Gumby? Do you know why the women's strawweight championship in Pancrase is vacant? Probably not, right?
I don't. Did Sikezawa win strawweight and then leave for Adam?
You keep talking because the
I think it might have been. I think it might have been Sikezawa's title before, and maybe she owned both of them.
I think it says Kondu, but that was years ago.
Oh, like maybe, but that happens sometimes with these promotions. Is that like they have a title and nobody's there to win it again, and they just kind of discontinue it until there's other exciting people. So
it says Haruka Hasegawa was the last champ, perhaps.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I don't really know. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Vivian Haharujo was the champ at one point. Siri Kondu, so they had some.
I like Siri Kondu. She was good.
Yeah. All right, let's break it. Yeah, the champ that Hasegawa won it over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So I guess they moved on. So anyhow, let's tell you about who is fighting for it now. We got Karen. One name. We've talked about her before, I think. Versus Miki.
I don't remember that, but
you know, I think we have Karen versus Miki Motono. 5-minute rounds for a 115-pound crown, the vacant one. Motono is 9-5, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. She's been submitted twice. Everything comes in twos. 1-0 on Pancrase. She's won 1 of 3, 4 of 6. 0-1 on the road to UFC because she lost to who?
Xiao Fang.
There you go. Used to fight down at atomweight. Karen, 10-2. 4 knockouts, 1 submission, never been finished in a fight. 9-2 in Pancrase. She's a former champion at this weight class for the promotion. She's won 4 straight. Before that, she lost 2 straight. She's not fought since September 2024. She last lost a fight April 2023. 1-1 in custom fighting. 9 years younger than Motono.
Yeah, the 9 years younger, the better record, the fact that she was a former champ. I mean, I got to imagine Karen like negative 400. And here's a big swing I'm going to take. I'm going to take Miki Motono. I'm going to take Motono probably like 325 on the return is my guess here. And here's why. The 8-5 record looks sad, right? Like it doesn't look like somebody who should be in a title fight in a regional promotion. But here's the fact of the matter. Here's who she's lost to. Xiao Fang. Sika Izawa, who's the best atomweight in the world.
Yep.
Sika Izawa again.
You're repeating yourself.
And then Casey O'Neill. Like, that's a pretty badass group of fighters, right? And in terms of, like the stylistic here is like, neither of these women are going to blow you away with their stand-up game. Not particularly impressed with the hand speed or any of what they bring on the feet, but like both of them are adequate wrestlers. And if you watch Karen, a lot of hers is like get to the hips, inside trip. Whereas a lot of Miki Motono's is a lot more just like pure double leg and like, maybe what you would consider more standard wrestling. And it's worked pretty well for her. Like if you watch, she like late in one of the fights with Sika Izawa, she's got some really good positions. She actually like cracked her on one of the like breaks from the clinch and had Izawa like turned her back to her and like ran away from her in a ring. Which is, it's kind of crazy because I was trying to rack my brain of any other time I've seen Izawa look vulnerable in any way, shape, or form. I couldn't come up with anything. Like she just looks good every single time I see her. So like for Motono to kind of have that moment, it just like looms large in my head for how good she is. And so I like her more standard approach to wrestling versus the trips for Karen. I think this is kind of an evenly matched fight, and being that I think there is, first of all, a very big difference in the resume skill level, right? Motono's obviously fought a much higher level of competition. And then when you add in the fact too, that she'll probably be a massive underdog, I think there's just too much value on Motono to pass it up. So she's going to be one of my big swings on an underdog this week.
All right. Take that underdog and win some money on it. Hopefully it comes through for you. Let's tell you about Kalshi before we give you some more winning plays here. Kalshi, we just partnered up with. They're a real money at prediction market, legal in all 30 states, 50 states, 30 states. I stole some of your land, Gumby. In all 50 states, you can trade tons of markets in sports, including NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, you can even trade props like first touchdowns. Besides sports, they have tons of other markets, including politics, entertainment. Hell, they even have the weather. Kalshi, you can trade anything. Read Gumby's columns on sportsgamblingpodcast.com about Kalshi. You can see what type of stuff you can trade. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. So it's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. And Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Underdog has you covered this holiday season with Underdog Unwrapped. You'll unwrap tons of promos all throughout the holidays. Gumby's unwrapping a winning play for you right now.
Yeah, let's go to Thursday Night Football. You're getting this in your ears on Thursday. We got an absolute banger. We got the Rams. We got the Seahawks. I'm going to go with Puka Nacua. Let's go with Puka Nacua higher than on his receiving yards. They got it listed at 93.5 right now. He's been over 160 for the last 2 games, and he's hit this projection in 3 of his last 4. So give me Puka Nacua higher than on his receiving yards.
All right. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMA SGPN. All right, let's go back to Tokyo. We got Pancrase vacant bantamweight championship on the men's side.
Don't ask.
Yeah, I looked it up. Toki Taka, Nakanishi was the champ. December 2023 was when he won. He hasn't fought since, I guess.
Nakanishi, did he go to 1? I think he went to 1.
Okay. All right. they're moving on anyhow. So we got two new guys fighting for the belt here. Rui Imura, Ryo Tajima, 5 minute rounds, 135. We'll tell you about Tajima first. 9-3, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted once. 8-3 in Pancrase. Lost win over his last 4. TKO win in his last bout. This is a rematch. You didn't catch me here, Gumby.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. He lost to Imura back in 2024. Imura is 13-5, 1 knockout, 8 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted once. 13-4 in Pancrase. So all of his fights except 1 have been Pancrase, just like Tajima. Lost over his last 4, just like Tajima as well. 4-2 over his last 6. 0-1 in road to UFC because why?
Imura lost it. Was it Yan Y Najim?
Oh, you're gonna make me look it up now. That's his only fight outside of
Yan Y Najim, I believe, knocked him out.
Yes, you're correct. That's who he lost to earlier this year. So, all right.
Was it a knee? I want to say it was a knee, right?
Let me see. I think. And did that guy get signed? Did that guy get signed?
No,
straight right to ground strikes.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm remembering that one. Yeah, right down the chimney. I'm gonna take Tajima in the rematch.
Okay.
Probably an upset pick here if I had to guess. Probably not a huge one because their first fight was pretty close. You know, we're talking like plus 60, plus 160, plus 170 kind of range. The bottom line is if you're watching both of these fighters, like both of them are pretty hittable. You know, they keep their chin kind of up in the air. The difference is like Imura tries to hurt you and then immediately tries to scramble to your back. It makes him actually pretty damn dangerous when it comes for a finish because if he gets you woozy at all, he's like kind of going overboard looking for that finish. And you know, if you watch the fight the first time with Tajima actually winds up with some like really good positions once in a while because Imura just gets so overzealous with those opportunities and is like so adamant that he's going to get them that like Tajima wound up on top. And, you know, at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to win him a decision, but I think that margin is just like so slim, right? And especially when you're going to talk about a rematch with a fighter, you know, they have that same weakness where either one could tag the other one. Then one, like, you know, if Tajima were the one to tag Imura, he'd just follow up with strikes. He'd just get after it. Imura is just going to, like, abandon everything he's doing well and jump on your back. And so, like, first of all, I like Tajima's chance to actually finish better. And then second of all, you know, like, I would have to think he's learned from all of those positions in the first place and like, kind of progressed his way through. And while I'd like to think Imura is, like, learning from, like, hey, maybe I don't just jump to the back like that all the time. He's had so much success. It seems like it's ingrained in him that like that's what he has to do when he has big moments. So I like Tajima to kind of try to figure it out the second time and hopefully cashes another underdog for us.
All right. Another dog like it after yesterday's chalky episode.
It was chalky as hell.
It hurt Gumby. but you can't force these things. If no dogs were barking, then no dogs were barking. All right. Co-main event. Pancrase middleweight championship. Qosim Sardarov. He is from Tajikistan. Ryutaro Sato. He's from Japan. 5 minute rounds. 185 belt on the line. We will tell you about after I actually get to the correct thing here. The actually, is this a new belt? Why is this one up for grabs now?
God,
doesn't say vacant.
I usually have the answers.
It's not new.
For people who are watching this for the first time, I have the answers for so many regional titles that people don't know about, but I don't have the answer for anything on Pancrase. I'm not close enough with Pancrase to know really.
I know Nate Marquardt had this belt a bunch of times. Naito had it, but that was over 3 years ago. So I guess it's about time that they get the belt moving again. All right, Qosim Sardarov, Tajikistan. Ryutaro Sato, Japan. We'll tell you about Sato first. He's 9-1, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 6-1 in Pancrase. He's won 8 straight. He's not lost since April 2022. Sardarov is 5-0, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He owes his rounds. 1-0 in Pancrase. Used to fight at 145. Yeah, he fought at 145 earlier this year, Gumby, and now he's at 180. All his fights took place this year, by the way. All 5 fights. 2 were at 145 pounds, and 3 were at 185, which is interesting. 2 inches taller than Sato.
Yeah, Sardarov. I mean, like, first of all, guy's got kind of a weird shape to him. I'm a big fan though. I really believe in Sardarov. Like, it's probably good that he's going up to middleweight because, like, I mean, he was like a string bean back when he was fighting downweight classes too, and like
But
he
40
was,
pounds though in a year?
but he was so good down at 45. Like,
Yeah.
he fought, what is it? Hang on, I wrote it down too because he's that Belgian prospect that's really good. Alvi Dusaev, he's
Yeah.
the one. The MMA wizard guy is big on him. Sean Bitter, in 8-0 Belgian guy, absolutely steamrolling everybody in terms of pro competition. He's got a loss on his amateur career though, and it's to Sardarov because Sardarov ran IMMAF for 2 straight years. He was a 2-time IMMAF champ. He's probably one of the most decorated IMMAF fighters in recent memory. Like, the guy is pretty damn impressive, and he's really technical with his takedown game. Now, he's not terribly exciting with the stand-up, but, like, he sort of doesn't have to be at this stage, right? On the other hand, Sato, like, man, I almost wish I could pick Sato because he is so damn exciting. He's just like a little tiny spark plug who throws, like, the meanest right hand you have seen in some time. But then, like, I mean, like, the rest of his game just doesn't play up for me. Like, I think when he does go to wrestle, it's like he goes to cradles a lot. And, like, you're not going to cradle a guy who's, like, good at wrestling. You know what I mean? And, like, a lot of his takedowns that I were watching, like, he gets a single leg and runs the pipe. And, like, that's, hey, cool that's worked so far. But, like, Sardarov is a very high level wrestler. You're not going to run the pipe on him. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to be able to chain takedowns together better than that. And Sardarov, that's like what he's been great at since he was an amateur. So, yeah, I like Sardarov here. I think Sato's wrestling game isn't enough to get to him. I think he's going to have a tough time with the defense. He's never really faced anybody who is going to out wrestle him. And, like, the little bit of power I've seen in his hands, like I said, he likes to load up that right. I just don't see it landing. So give me Sardarov here. My guess, pretty big favorite. I'll say like 350.
All right. No more dog for this one. Maybe you said you want to take Sato. Maybe you can take a Sato in the main event.
We got another Sato.
Yeah, we'll get there in a moment. After I tell you about that, we are brought to you by Novig. It's Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Now I lost my ad read. What else can I tell you about Novig? They are they're legal in all 50 states. I said no, it's Kalashi. Here we are. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Did I tell you that? Well, it's true. Novig, you're getting the best prices because they have reduced juice on bets. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. You would think I would have that memorized by now, but no. Rhythm, RATHMM. Rhythm has crushed NFL this season, especially on props. They've been really good at identifying when to fade players to take those unders. College basketball is up and running with 300 plus schools. Rhythm has predictions for every game, every night. Pairs nicely with our daily TCE show, College Experience, with Mac, Colby, and Noah. That way, every game you're prepared. Super easy to sign up, run predictions off the house model, or make your own and play with these sliders. With so many sports and the holidays, this makes it easy to get an elite prediction on a game. That way you can focus on other sports and other things. Gumby will give you an elite prediction right now because he always does.
Sure. I already mentioned the Rams and the Seahawks tonight. It's an absolute banger of a game. I'm going to go with the Rams. Take them on the money line here. I'm a believer in Stafford and the aforementioned Puka Nacua, who's on your screen if you're watching on YouTube right now. I'm a believer in them. I think they're really good. And while the Seahawks defense is pretty darn good, I was not terribly impressed with how they performed against the Colts last week. So give me the Rams on the money line.
Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm, RATHMM. Use promo code SGPN25. I have Seahawks defense on my fantasy team, Gumby, so I hope...
Terrible week for that to be true.
hope they look good. They've been the best defense all year, so we'll see. All right. Main event is for the Pancrase Welterweight Championship. Shogo Sato is the champ. Goiti Yamauchi, a name you may remember. He's from Brazil. He is a challenger, 5 minute rounds, 170 pounds. Yamauchi, 30-7, 4 knockouts, 21 submissions. He's been knocked out once. That is durable, very durable. 1-0 in Pancrase. Lost win over his last 4, 5-2 over his last 7. TKO win in his last bout. 14-5 in Bellator, RIP. 1-1 in PFL. Regional champion, used to fight at 145 and 155. Missed weight before at 155, 2010 pro MMA debut, 1-0 as a pro grappler. He won the Brazilian grappling championship, 5 inches taller than Sato, 8-inch reach advantage, so he's massive. Sato Tora is the nickname. 5-1 with 1 no contest, 4 knockouts. He's been knocked out once. 5-0 with 1 no contest in Pancrase and the current champ. TKO lost in his last bout. That was on Contender Series because he lost to who?
Not Contender Series. That was on Road to the UFC.
Oh, Road to. I'm sorry. Yes,
it was Kit Campbell knocked him out, I believe.
Right, you do remember it. Even the Road 2s, you remember. And that's all I got. You're taking Yamauchi, I'm guessing.
I am. I love Yamauchi from his like Bellator days. Like I saw him fight live a couple of times. I think like a decade ago. Like it was a really long time ago. He was fighting for Bellator. Yep. I think he's going to be like a negative 200 favorite here. Like he's clearly got like the pedigree to be a favorite here, but like, you know, Sato's like the young, exciting one. Here's a crazy thing. So Yamauchi's been fighting forever. Did you happen to see how old Yamauchi is? It blew my mind.
Not
he's
very.
Only 32.
Yeah, crazy, right?
It feels like he's been fighting for 100 years. Yeah, and the reason I like Yamauchi is if you watch Sato, a guy who swings real wide with a lot of his strikes, definitely gets himself off balance. He's really primed for like a double leg after a duck under. You know, like just too many things. And like if you look at all of his finishes, like all of them are ground and pound finishes. All of them are I hurt you and I follow up with strikes. I mean, like, look at Yamauchi's career, man. Like, this dude has fought some dudes. And, like, the only TKO I can remember him getting was it Michael Venom Page kicked his leg out and he had, like, a leg injury? But, like, he went 15 minutes with Michael Chandler. I mean, like, he spent 15 minutes in the cage with Neiman Gracie. He beat Neiman Gracie. Like, he beat, like, Neiman Gracie. So, like, this is a guy who's been in there with such killers and, like, largely been incredibly durable against a lot of them. And like all I'm looking for him to do here against Sato is just like avoid one of these overly wild strikes, find his legs, and I think the takedown's going to be there. And you know, the other thing about Yamauchi too, he's starting to find, and I hesitate to say this because it's like it should be called late career power instead of old man power because he's still not old, but he's like kind of getting some of that old man power. I know he's like hit a knockout with an uppercut not that long ago. He's sort of starting to find that piece too. So like, I think he's got lots of ways to beat Sato here. And if we can find him, you know, in a negative 200 kind of range, very playable for me. So yeah, go to Yamauchi here to end it.
Yeah, you were correct. The only TKO on his long resume was the leg kick one from Paul Jones.
Against
never been knocked out.
Like against Chandler and Michael Page. I mean, the Michael Page one was the leg kick, but like, you know, up against guys who throw hammers and like fought for a really long time in Bellator.
Yep. All right, recap. Yamauchi, Sardarov, Tajima, Motono, and Kobayashi, and he's got lots to choose from for the lightning rounds at Ben Boom Pow.
Yeah, I'm going to take Daichi Kamija. He was on Road to the UFC as well. One of the fighters that I kind of liked off that show, but he ran into Sungwook Kim in his first fight, which was a really tough out. But, you know, if you watch him, he's got really good jiu-jitsu. And, you know, so like Sungwook Kim is probably the worst guy he could have fought on that show. But I'm still high on him, so I like him in a fight here. And then the other one I'm going to take is a Yumu Khan. He's 4-1-1 in his career, really good rear naked chokes, kind of getting there with his hands too, which makes him fun. And he's fighting out this Australian guy who at first I thought I liked, and then I realized he's fought nothing but like 0-9 guys. So I'm going to take Khan as almost like a fade of that record. So Ayumu Khan and Daichi Kamiya are my two lightning round plays.
All right, now you're all set for Pancrase. We'll be in the Discord chatting about that and many other things. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord, YouTube MMA Gambling Podcast, Twitter X SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer, at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram. Money MMA at Substack.com is my Substack. Gumby's got a Top Turtle podcast. He has some. At least one fun person on. I think you have two fun people on this week.
Yeah. Will Fleury is always the most exciting one to have on for the most part. And then we're also talking to Guram Kokachvili, who is fighting in a CFFC title fight this weekend.
Yep. Just talked about him yesterday. So check out Top Turtle. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. No, we are not going on holidays. We have maybe 5 episodes for you next week. UFC may go on a runaway and high, but we do not. So we'll be back on Sunday after Gumby bids you farewell.
I'm Dana Gumby Vreeland. He's Jeff Karen Fox, and we will see you on Sunday.